Rider Japan channel, welcome. Yamaha R1 1999. I'll tell you what I'm doing today. I'm fitting a new timing chain adjuster. I've not done this job before, so printing some stuff off the internet, and it's going well so far. I didn't make a video taking the carbs off, so I've done that before in a previous video. I can put a link on the screen now if you want to see how that job's doing. This time, learning from my experience last time I did it, I just undid, because I replaced all these boots, I just undid the bottom clasps and I could pull them off quite easily. Just give you a heads up, if you're replacing the boots on your R1, which you probably should do as an old bike if it hasn't been done before, they don't go on easy. The carbs are not easy to put on. The trick was that allowed me to actually complete the job, heat it up with a hot air gun and get the rubber hot and really soft, and then I could just about push them on. It wasn't easy, but they came off easy, so that rubber's obviously sort of set at a decent diameter now to go back on, so I'm not expecting any more trouble with those. Yeah. The timing chain adjuster, that thing, oh my god. See that, there's two bolts we've got to undo, yeah, to get it off the bike. One nearest me, just underneath the end of that tubelet, easy. That one, right up against the frame, really difficult to get a tool on it, and there's not much space to move that tool as well. And then my one, unfortunately, was like really locked on tight, so I had a bit of a fight with it, but it was just a case of just trying harder to get it to turn. Anyway, I've just cracked it loose, so that's ready to come out now. Next, according to my paperwork, I've got to take this off, and yeah, then I can start getting the engine set at the right position to actually remove that. So, quick disclaimer, I often start my videos with a disclaimer. I'm not a trained mechanic, I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm just someone who owns this bike and I have a go at jobs. A lot of my videos are of me doing jobs on a bike, and it's the first time I'm doing them, so I'm sort of learning on camera. So do your own research, do more research than just watching this video about how to do this job, because if I get it wrong, well, it's worse for you. If you get it wrong on your bike, because you took my advice and it was bad advice, it's potentially disastrous. You can ruin your engine, pistons and valves, when the timing's wrong, not good. So I'm going to go careful, you should too. So hitting my second challenge after fighting with that nut on the adjuster to get loose. I took all the bolts out and this ain't shifting. I've always wanted to take this off because it's all paint is stripped off this side, so I can repaint it before I put this back on. So I'm about to engage 100% of my brain. Genius or what? Loads of oil coming out. Fuck. Okay, so looking at it closely, I'm not seeing anything of any use. What am I looking for? I can see a little line in there on the inside of the casing, but then what am I supposed to line that up to? Literally nothing here. Okay, let's take the cover off the other side, see what happens. Alright, a couple of moments before I started filming, this garage was full of builders. Well, it's not builders, road workers. They're doing repairing the front of the house. Yeah, they're just finishing, just like now. And they all came in afterwards, so they were dying to ask me about my bikes, and because I was here, they came in and I had a look. And I always forget to tell people about this YouTube channel. Probably that's like the 25th time. People have like stopped me at a petrol station or wherever and just asking about my bike or car or something, and I never think to tell people about my YouTube channel. Hence I don't get any views. Nice to get a bit of peace at last. We had it's been like over a year, just roadworks around the house. They demolished a building opposite, that was a load of noise. Then we had this garage built, load of noise, wasn't complaining about that though. They finished this, and then a house, like a big building, other side of this house, they did a load of work, so all scaffolding, banging and like changing the tiles or whatever they're doing, a load of noise. Then that finished, and then they started the roadworks out here. It's been continuous, it's doing my head in. So it feels surreally peaceful at the moment now. Anyway, I'm just doing this in case they're different lengths. Oh, like I said last time, just saves doing things wrong or getting confused in the future. Easy. Oh, here we go. Bit of wood, levering it in there was the magic trick. Right, I saw something on a video about some sort of positioning thing. Yeah, that. It's got to stay in the bike. See that? You seeing that? That stays in the bike. Does not come with a cover. Oh, it's moving. Because that is literally holding the chain as it is. There you go. That stays there. Alright, cool. Gasket's fucked. Right, so very easy. All I'm doing is turning that. So that line with the TDC, touching the dog's cock, I think there's a very fine line there on the engine case there. I'm assuming that line goes there. I'm going to double check it online because there's another line there. Is that just something to do the way it's made, or is that actually what I'm meant to be doing? I'm going to do a little bit of internet search before I do this. Just been on my computer for an hour trying to find the information for this specific bike. The best I can find is a video by someone who seems quite knowledgeable, but he's on a much newer R1. That T goes to a line there, but I'm still not convinced that line on my bike is what I need to be judging it by. Must be. He says rotate it clockwise on this side of the bike, so let's do that. T, I haven't taken a spark plug out. Take spark plugs out, you can do this easier, but certainly not impossible. There you go. Is that top dead center? From my experience, so I've lined that up, yeah, but I know from experience doing the valve clearance service on my FJ12 over there, that might not be top dead center. It might be another full rotation round. I need to verify it somehow. And you can take a spark plug out, put a little stick in there or something, and watch it going up and down as you crank it over. Which piston? I don't know. I can't find this information online. So what I hate about the internet, it's just so much shit. It's just 99% what you don't want to know, or useless information. Not actually, it's difficult to find what you actually need to know. Books are always so much better, and I don't have the service manual for this. And I did find a service manual online, but it's just like the owner's book. It's not, doesn't go into this detail, this kind of work. I'm not taking it out without being sure that I've got it right. So literally, I'm going to stop today, and this evening, when I've got more time again, after the kids are in bed and stuff, I will find out exactly what I need to do. Alright, back again in the garage. A few days later, my gasket has arrived in the post, so I can get on with it again. In the meantime, I've been searching online for definitive answer, what exactly I need to do. Can't get it, can't find it. People on R1 owners forum, and then people in the Facebook groups, and just searching like generally online as well. No one's really given me a definitive answer. Some people say you've got to be piston 1, top dead center. Some people say piston 4 because it's closest to the chain. It does make me wonder the firing order. Maybe piston 1 and 4 come up at the same time. I don't know. And I haven't got the top of the engine off, so I can't look at the cams. So I've just taken a spark plug out and just poking a stick in there. That cylinder does seem at the top because you can be 360 degrees out. I can turn that all the way around, and then that piston will be all the way down. So that mark, you can't rely on that mark itself, because it might actually be the piston right at the bottom rather than right at the top. So you've got to do a 360 rotation on it, and I can't confirm it. So this is just literally my idea, just to take the spark plug out and stick something in there. That does appear to be the top. So I'm going to go for it. Piston 1 at the top. Yeah, let's let's see if we can not fuck this bike up. Okay, so before I take bits apart, just the chain is too loose here, it's rattling. So I want to know how much slack is in that, meaning it's too loose. It does feel quite tight, but there's a bit of movement, especially that side. So what I'm going to do is wedge something in there, which was advice from a few places online, on YouTube videos and that. I'll find something better, something that really wedges in there. That will become my adjuster. That'll become my timing chain tensioner instead of the one that I'm taking out. So that holds everything in position, and then that makes it safe for me to swap into the manual one. So let me find something that works better than that. If you're doing this, I'm in no position to be giving advice, but I'll just tell you what comes to mind as I'm doing the job. Obviously keep it clean in there, don't let bits go in there, don't put things in, if you're doing like what I'm doing, don't put something in that's all like a bit of wood or something with crumbs coming off it. Okay, so that's solid now. Right, that chain is solid. That's my tensioner. Now I'm free to take out this one up top. So there's two bolts I'm taking out. That one's easy. This one up against the frame is much more difficult. Couldn't do it with my wrench or anything. Just this kind of angled spanner thing, ring spanner. It was the trick that did it. So yeah, let's take these out. A bit of trick helps if I use the 8mm end. 8mm bolts. There is a trick. You can actually adjust the automatic cam chain adjuster by just simply undoing these two bolts. You pull it out gently, you hear a click, and then you tighten it back up basically. The automatic thing extends a little bit, and then you fit it back in. So yeah, great, cheap, quick, easy, but I didn't like the idea of not having a choice of how much adjustment happens. So I just went ahead and bought a manual cam chain adjuster. It's all good experience, isn't it? One bolt loose, just doing the one up against the frame a little bit more. Much easier with the engine out, but it's a bit extreme just to do these two bolts. I advise if you've got an old R1 like this and you've got the engine out for whatever reason, I would, and it's got the original automatic cam chain adjuster on it, I would swap it over to a manual one while the engine is out. It's much easier, and likely it will need doing in the near future anyway. Is common on these bikes. Oh, we're out. We are out. That one's going in. So look at the old one. It's got this like bracket on it. There's a tube that connects onto that. There was two tubes. They go to nothing. They don't do anything. And I don't think that bracket is gonna, maybe it will. Okay. Put it on. So we can use that again. Back that out so I can push it in and adjust it. Can go in quite far up. Cool, that's it. Simple as that. Let's put this one in. 8mm one of these, cut in half would be great. The length of it is a bit of a problem. Okay, so my instructions are screw that in until it stops by hand. Quite far. And it will be because of the length of the one that come out. And then on the end of that, there's a like hex socket Allen key. All right, coming to a stop now. Pushing on the chain, so it's stopping finger tight. This is where information got a bit conflicted. So one video I saw, one guy on our channel, professional motorcycle mechanic, I do trust his advice. He tightened up as much as he could by hand and then turned it quarter of a turn with a tool and then said that was it, that's always correct. That's what he does. And so that was quick and easy. I like that idea. I might just do that. Another one, someone tightened up by hand until it stopped, and then they cranked it over, and then sort of adjusting it, making sure if they moved the chain around and then they could tighten up a little bit more, they would do that. And then after they'd done a full rotation, they backed it off 1/4 of a ton. So, and again, it seemed like a experienced mechanic, so I don't know. People do different things and it always works, so does it even matter? I'm gonna, just because it's convenient and easy, I'm just gonna do an extra turn with a little bit of a turn with the tool, and then see if that's alright. So I'm gonna put a little black dot on there just so I can see what's going on, how I'm rotating it, how much I'm rotating it. Right, 1/4 turn. Put that tool back in, put the Allen key back in, and then tighten up that lock nut. Then I'm going to crank it around and then see if it feels alright. Well, before there was a bit of wiggle, yeah? It definitely feels tighter than it was before. What I'm going to do now is crank that around by hand and see how it feels. I'm sure I haven't, but if the timing's wrong now, like the chain skipped a tooth, I'd feel it, because the piston's banging into the valves, yeah? Terrible if the engine's running. But if you're just gently rotating it by hand, you might feel that. So I'm sure you will feel it. Anyways, I'm just going to rotate it and just see what happens. Do this slowly because I've got all the spark plugs in, so there's a lot of compression. Well, I've got 3 of the spark plugs in. Hear that? So I've got my new gasket here. I'll find out the part numbers, put them on the screen or something, or in the description. That looks good. Okay, let's put it back on.